Okay guys, now we have section 4. Section 4 will give you another opportunity to get 10 out of 10. Section 1 and section 4. These two sections provide you a great opportunity to get 10 out of 10. I show you how. Section 2 is also the one, like most of the students, they have their major mistakes in section 3. Why? Multiple choice. So many multiple choice questions. Section 1 and 4, they are the easiest ones. Section 2 is a little confusing, but 3 is actually the heart of Ielts listening, right? And there you get multiple choice mainly. Anyways, section 4. Now they've mentioned one word only. Have they mentioned number? No. So the answer is going to be a word. And even if there is a number, you can write it as a word. But they didn't mention any number, so there is no number here. Self-regulatory focus theory. Now, by the way, if you don't know what the hell is self-regulatory focus theory, don't worry about it. You're not supposed to know. By the way, in the audio, when they start, they will tell you what is self-regulatory focus theory. So don't worry about that. And leadership. Okay. Now, first of all, you should underline the headings. First heading is self-regulatory focus theory. Second heading is factors that affect people's focus. Third heading is how people's focus affects them. The rest of the questions you can open on mobile later. Anyways, now one thing which is very important, in Ielts listening part 4, they will always give you a part of lecture. What will they give you? Part of lecture. Part of lecture means 5 to 6 minute part of a complete lecture. So they will give you a part of lecture, the first thing. The second thing, whenever there is a lecture, most of the time one person is delivering the lecture. So in Ielts listening part 4, you will just listen to one person who will be delivering the lecture. Is that clear? Right? Now, one thing which is very, very important, that is about signpost language. Signpost language. I'll share a handout in the class group as well about signpost language. What is signpost language? In part 4, sometimes this may happen that you are somewhere else, audio is somewhere else. Sometimes you are ahead of the audio, sometimes you are behind the audio, then you don't know how to catch it. Let me tell you one thing, if by chance you miss the audio, then it becomes very difficult to catch the audio once again, right? So in order to catch the audio, in order to stay focused, because in listening part 4, audio is very fluent. Students rather say audio is very fast. They say 1.25. It's not 1.25 at all. Audio is very fluent. So when the audio is fluent, at times it's difficult to keep pace with the audio and all that, right? Now what you have to do, signpost language will tell you first of all. Secondly, now they say, let's move on to the factors that affect people's focus. If they say, let's move on, right? Or if they say, another point is how people's focus affects them. Another point is, so I have a handout which I'm going to share with you. It's called signpost language. You can learn all these phrases, go through them in listening part 4. At least after going through those words, you will not be lost, right? Now, let's take a start. They will give you 1 minute. Today I measured the time they give you in part 4. Exactly 1 minute. And if you add 30 seconds from section 3, which they give you to check your answer, you will have 1.5 minutes. Right? Now in 1.5 minutes, do not try to read everything. I mean, just read the points where there is the question. At the same time, do not ignore other points. Because if you ignore other points, then you don't know where the audio is going. So the other points where there is no question, try to underline one clue word over there. That clue word should be like a date, name of the person and all that. I just show you. Please come to this self-regulatory focus theory. Now guys, you can see the first point does not have any question, right? So in order to be with that, we say people's focus is to approach pleasure or avoid pain. Just underline pleasure or pain. In the audio, when they talk about pain, pleasure, it means audio has reached there. And by the way, you can see under this first heading, there are 3 points. So they may use the word first of all, secondly, finally. This is what we call signpost language, right? So question number 31. Promotion goals focus on, underline focus on. In the audio, for focus on, they will use the word emphasize, pay attention, greatly emphasize on, whatever they say, emphasize on, and after that, that will be your answer. Is that clear? Okay, now I'm going to start. Please listen and answer question number 31. And how many words? Very good. You did not look at me, you looked at your handout, 1 word only. Very good.
You will hear part of a lecture about leadership introducing a theory called self-regulatory focus theory.
Today, I want to talk about self-regulatory focus theory and how the actions of leaders can affect the way followers approach different situations. Self-regulatory focus theory is a theory developed by Torrey Higgins. He says that a person's focus at any given time is to either approach pleasure or avoid pain. These are 2 basic motivations that each and every one of us has, and they cause us to have different kinds of goals. Promotion goals in different life situations emphasize achievement.
Excellent. See that? Emphasize achievement. So answer is achievement. Exactly. Is this clear? So what is written before the blank? And by the way, in the audio, did you notice the word pleasure and pain? These words came. So just underline the words so that at least you know. And if you underline these words in actual test, when the audio gone out of control, you can catch the audio with the help of these words. Let's go on. The next one is preventing goal. Do we need to read it? No. I tell you why not. Because the next point is factors that affect people's focus. So with this one, they will use signpost language. They will say, let's move on to the factors that affect people's focus. Or now we are going to talk about factors, or let's talk about something like that. Okay, the first one is chronic factor. Question number 32 comes from one's dash. Now for one's, listen, underline this word. Let me tell you what are they going to do with one's. For one's, they can use the word one's. For one's, they can use the word someone. For one's, they can use the word your. For one's, they can use the word our. For one's, they can use the word their. So any other word like that, and the answer is going to be right after that. Comes from. Now comes from means it originates from. Comes from will be replaced also. In the audio, they use entirely different language. So for comes from, it can be originates from. And for one's, they can use the word your. Now let's see what do they say after that. Question number 32.
The theory suggests that 2 factors affect which goals we are focusing on. First, there is a chronic factor. This factor is connected to a person's personality and says that each person has a basic tendency to either focus more on promotion goals or focus.
It comes from a person's personality. So for ones, they use the word persons. I told you it could be like your, our, people, person, and all that. So the answer is personality. Is that clear? Yeah. Good. Question number 33. The dash factor, very simple. Now this is the second factor. First factor is chronic factor. This is the name of second factor. Let's see what is that. And they will say it clearly. The second factor is and all that.
Second, there is a situational factor, which means that the context.
Second is signpost word. We call it signpost word. Second, there is a situational factor. So situational, S-I-C-H-U-T-U-N-A-L. Correct spelling. If your spelling is wrong, your answer is wrong. Situational factor. So answer is Situational. Don't write factor. I told you don't be over emotional. I got the answer. So I will write emotional also. You become emotional. Okay, now 34. Now please focus, question number 34. We are more likely to focus on promotion goals when with a. So we are more focused on promotional goals when we are with a. And let's see. Now just see, we focus more on our promotional goals when we are with. And the next they said with our boss. So second opposite thing is when with our boss, we think about something else. So when we are with our dash. Now exactly, good thing. From the next point you understand it's going to be a type of person. For example, they say with a colleague, with a companion or anything like that. I play the audio, you will find it.
For example, we are more likely to be thinking about pleasure and to have promotion goals when we are spending time with a friend.
When we are spending time with a friend. So when with a friend will be the answer. See that? Part 4 can be as simple. And it's always like this. Part 4 में कोई game कहानियाँ नहीं चल सकती because they have one word only. Right? So you can easily do that. Let's go on. How people's focus affects them. Now this is the next one. How people's focus affects them. Question number 35. Promotion focus. People think about an ideal vision of themselves. Ideal version of themselves. Promotion factor. People think about an ideal version of themselves, comma. Now listen. In Ielts listening part 4, whenever they use comma, it means they will speak 3 words. One of those words will be the answer. And arrangement of the words can be in any order. So the first thing, what is the first thing? Ideal version of themselves, their dash and their goals. Right? Ideal version, their goals and their, that will be the answer. Do you understand? It can be in the middle, it can be at the end, it can be in the beginning. With these 2 words, they will be the answer. Let's start.
Research has shown that the goals we are focusing on at a given time affect the way we think. For example, when focusing on promotion goals, people consider their ideal self, their aspirations and gains.
See that? Sahi ho gaya na? Their aspirations and gains. Gains is already given and their ideal self, that is already written. So answer is aspiration. Same thing, aspiration. One day I just went somewhere and said, can I have some water please? And the person was looking at me. Then I said, can I have some water? He said, sure sir, I bring water for you. So it is aspiration. You understand the other word, huh? Aspiration, aspiration. Yeah, commonly people say. So aspiration is the right answer. Okay guys, now the next title is leaders. Question number 36. Leadership behavior and dash. So answer will come with leadership behavior and dash affects people's focus. This is question number 36. So the answer is going to come as a word with behavior. For behavior, they might use attitude or any other word. How they react. That is also behavior. Leadership, behavior and dash affects people's focus. Now listen carefully and answer.
Now that I have talked about the 2 focuses and how they affect people, I want to look at the idea that the way leaders behave, or their style of leading.
Now notice one thing very carefully. For and, they use the word or. For and, they use the word or. So this is also possible for and. Now for and, they can use sometimes as well as. For and, they use the word not only but also. And for and, they use the word or as well. So the answer will be style. I'm playing this audio again.
Now that I have talked about the two focuses and how they affect people, I want to look at the idea that the way leaders behave, or their style of leading,
or their style, right? Style of leading. How leaders behave and style of reading. So for 36, style is the right answer. Next is transformational leaders. That's the type of leaders. Can you see two types? One is transactional and one is transformational leaders. Page number 63. Transformational leaders pay special attention to the dash of their followers. Now again, special attention to. For special attention, they can use emphasize, they can use they pay attention, or they highlight, or something like that. Dash of their followers. So it means this is something, answer is something which belongs to followers of the leaders. Let's see what that is.
In talking about leadership, we often mention transformational leaders and transactional leaders. Transformational leaders, when interacting with their followers, focus on their development.
Focus on their development. So, special attention to, for special attention, the word is Songeo. Yeah, thank you very much जी, बड़ी आप बड़ा अच्छा feedback दे रहे हैं सब लोग. किसी एक ने तो focus का. Question number 38 please. Passionately communicate a clear dash, underline clear and underline communicate. Okay, passionately communicate a clear something.
In their words and actions, transformational leaders highlight change. Their speech is passionate and conveys a definitive vision.
Definitive vision. So the word definitive is for clear and vision is the right answer. Definitive and clear, they are synonyms in Ielts language. Question number 39 is about transactional leader. Create. Now for create, listen, they can use the word make, manufacture, construct, right, or any build. They can use any word. Create dash to make expectations clear. So they make something to make expectations clear. They create, or whatever the word for that is.
In contrast, transactional leaders focus on developing clear structures that tell their followers
developing on clear structures. So structures to make expectations clear. The word clear came afterwards. So for create, what is the word that they used? Development, or developing clear structures. Very good. I played 39 again.
In contrast, transactional leaders focus on developing clear structures that tell their followers exactly what is expected.
Okay, now you can see after that there are two more points. In the second point, underline mistakes. In the next point, you can underline prevention. Now last thing is conclusion. And by the way, again, they will use signpost language. Finally, or they say in conclusion, or to conclude, or in the final analysis. So conclusion, sit down please. Conclusion is promotion focus is good for jobs requiring. Now for requiring, they use the word jobs that demand, jobs that need. For requiring, they can use the word need, demand, or any other word like that. Let's see what that is.
In conclusion, it is important to understand that one focus is not necessarily better than the other one. For a designer who works in a field where a lot of innovation is needed, a promotion focus is probably better.
A designer, now for job they use the word designer. What is designer? It's a job. Okay, so the answer is innovation. I'm playing it again.
In conclusion, it is important to understand that one focus is not necessarily better than the other one. For a designer who works in a field where a lot of innovation is needed,
where a lot of innovation is needed. So requiring innovation or a lot of innovation is needed. Requiring and needed, they are the same words. So the right answer is innovation. I-N-O-I-double-N-O. Right. So if you write innovation with one N, the donkey will go into the well. Exactly. All right. Now listen, please. Listen. It's not over yet. After this, now you will be practicing IELTS listening. First, when you take the test, when you take the listening test, you just have to play the test on your mobile, because I'll share the recordings, and then your mobile should be on aeroplane mode. If you don't understand, Jahaj wala mode. You know Jahaj baniya hoega, you just click that and it's aeroplane mode. It means don't disturb me, right? So when your mobile is on aeroplane mode, play the audio and put the mobile away, and you just have the headphone and the question booklet. Don't do any tampering. Kya bola isne pehle kya gaya? Don't do anything like that. Just turn your mobile, turn it over on the table, and you're doing the test. Take complete test without any interruption, like the way you close the door or lock the door when you are changing your clothes. Just like that, close the door, lock the door. If you don't find any place, just go to the washroom, put a chair over there and do your test over there. You need a quiet place where nobody bothers you. Now take one test. Once the test is over, now come to the end of the book and check your answers. Tick, cross, tick, tick, cross, tick, 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 cross, 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 something like that. Okay. At the end, you need to count the ticks, or easiest way is count the crosses. Out of 40, you can minus that. For example, if there are 8 crosses, 40 minus 8, 32 correct answers. Now, just a second. The answers where you are right, those answers are good. Shabash, well done. Where you are wrong, for that, don't slap your face. Okay, ask someone, minu panch peda mar. Not like that. Where you are wrong, now you can either play the audio again, or you can go to the end of the book where there is the transcript, read the question again, read the transcript again, play the audio again, and focus and realize what is the answer, number one. Number two, why? What is the rewording? Which word they used, and ask yourself, why did I select wrong answer? Why was I trapped? Now, if you do that out of each test, for example, if you have 10 mistakes, 10 things you will learn if you do this thing. I call it debriefing. So if you do this thing with every test, when you do the next test, you will be very well prepared. When you do another test, you will be very well prepared. And if you take the test blindly, rose the 6 test, I'm doing again and again and again and again, that will not help you. Just take 1 to 2 tests a day, and don't do debriefing right after the test. You've taken the test, checked your answers, take some short break. Go out, come back and all that. Then you can see, okay, now I am the examiner. First you are the candidate. Now you are the examiner. You are IELTS trainer. Now you see, okay, I've got this mistake and this is the reason. Once you do like this, inshallah, you will become IELTS trainer. That's going to be another career that you can have that, right? So all the best. Thank you very much.